I said to Josie last night, I get so frustrated with her though, because every single day there's a new craft that she wants to do. And it's not a small undertaking.
She's like, Mum, can I have a loom?
You're like, pretty much. She said she wanted what's one of those spray, like an airbrush thing.
Oh yeah.
She come home yesterday and she just got this bit of cardboard out. I always keep cardboard for her whenever we've got cardboard boxes, because I know that she's made these half mushroom things, like just like on an old tree where you get like the
like the
sticking out.
fungi
fungus.
growth.
So she's made some of those out of paper mache, cardboard, and painted them and everything. And then she's going to stick them on her room. She's got an obsession with mushrooms at the minute. And they're really good. They are really good. But she's come home yesterday and started I'm going to go and get it for you. You wait right there.
All right.
Wait just 1 second. You are going to love this. It's a mushroom hat. It's what it is. So she started making that yesterday, and then she asked Josie for some fabric, because we always do crafts in the house anyway, so we've always got fabric. So she was going to cover that with fabric, like sew it all together and things like that. And we was trying to say to her, that's probably not the best way to go about it. Why don't you go about it this way? And she's like, no, because I've seen this thing online, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, yeah, but it's not got any structure to it. We're going to have to like paper mache it or something. And me personally, I go, oh, another fucking craft, and go, do what you want with it. It's your project, do what you want with it. And I just give her the materials. Josie really sat down with her yesterday and was like, I think this is the best way to do it. Really talking to her about it, and they had a really good conversation, and Josie was really encouraging of the hat. And I was like,
great.
Oh, for fuck's sake, another project. But I feel like I said to Josie last night, I need to be more encouraging with her projects, because she's very artistic and she's very creative, and I just generally like let her get on with it. But I said today I'm going to get some hot glue sticks for the hot glue gun so she can actually put it together properly, and we're going to paper mache it and we're going to make it look great.
What about like chicken wire? Can't you put some chicken wire over it?
That's a pain in the arse, isn't it? I just don't want to have to go out and buy all this shit when she's going to make a mushroom hat that she's never going to wear. But I said to her,
that's true.
I said to her in bed last night, I was like, oh, if I can arrange a trip to the beach on Saturday, would you want to come? Because she's normally at Mike's on the weekend. And she was like, yes, please. She went, oh, I can wear my mushroom hat.
And you were like, but did I say Saturday? Actually, I think Daddy's got plans.
The beach isn't open. Sorry, we can't go to the beach.
What's been happening?
The weather has been happening. Oh my goodness, the weather.
Oh my goodness.
I'm an absolute sun worshipper, aren't I?
I can't say that word.
Why?
I don't know. I've just never been able to say it. I don't get it right. Werpishers.
Oh, it's like, what are you talking about?
Werpishers.
Worshippers. I'm going to say it wrong now every time I bloody say it. And that is predominantly the reason that I built the outside furniture, was because I want somewhere to lounge when the sun is out. So I went and got some pallets, built the furniture, sanded it all down, cut it all. And our neighbour, bless him, he's such a handy guy to have. He's 22 and he's got like the building experience of a 40-year-old, and he's got every single tool you could ever imagine. So he borrowed a sander, a drill, an electric saw, all of his screws, a thing to ply the pallet things off with, whatever that's called,
like a crowbar.
Crowbar, yeah. The only thing we did have of our own was a hammer.
Just one hammer.
Well, we had two hammers actually. Don't know why.
Oh, one each.
Had two, which was handy because me and Josie was banging all the nails out and stuff. And so we built that in the garden, and I am paying for it now because they really hurt. But I've got to be careful in the sun now because of the whole chemo thing.
Yeah.
for whatever, I don't know the reason behind it, but everyone's like, oh, we've got to be really careful in the sun. So I've now got factor 50 on, slathered on me all the time whenever Josie won't let me step foot in the sun.
Like you're a vampire.
Yeah. And I was out there yesterday. Josie was at work, and I was laying on because I've put the pallets together and I've put like one long cushion on them, and I was laying face down, like so on my front reading my Harry Potter book.
Obviously.
And
Which
she
one?
rung me. I think I'm on, what one am I on? Oh, hold on, it's here. Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love all of them. Yeah, I know, yeah. Nearly finished it. But Josie then rang me. I was out there having such a lovely time, and Josie rang me. She was like, can you turn over, please? Because you can't sun cream all of your back. And I was like,
where are you?
Where are you? She was like, you're laying on your front and you can't sun cream all of your back. And I was like, I sun creamed. I did a really good job. I put all of the factor 50 on everywhere. And she was like, no, you wouldn't have been able to reach your entire back, would you? And I was like, I'm sure it's okay if just that small bit that I didn't reach is out.
And again, where are you?
The neighbour next door had taken a picture of me out of her bedroom window and sent it to Josie. Said that I was laughing life out there.
You got dubbed in.
And she immediately rang me and told me off. Oh, so then I had to turn over, get the sun in my eyes. Right, should we crack on?
Sure. One thing before we get started, we have holidays and things that are coming up, so we apologise about the order of the shout outs that we're going to put out to people, but some of the episodes we've got to sort of pre-record. Some of them, well, this one's like going to be a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we have
from being released, isn't it?
We have a few weeks ahead of ourselves just because busy lives.
Busy.
Hey, you.
I don't want to be busy. I don't want to be busy at all.
No, but you're going on holiday.
I'm going on holiday. It's only for a week, but obviously I need. I'll be working like a lot up till then, and all that, and I need time to edit and that rubbish. But I think we've got one shout out, haven't we? Because I think
two shout outs.
Oh, two. I was going to say, did we do the other one? But no, we didn't.
I don't think so. No.
Shout outs, Mothman.
That's become a thing now, isn't it? Mothman.
Oh, we didn't do the shout out for him either.
Mothman. Yeah. We had a donation to our Buy Us a Coffee page from a Mothman.
Not a Mothman, the Mothman.
The Mothman, the one and only Mothman.
Thanks, Mothman.
Thank you very much.
He did a lovely little message saying, thank you for doing an episode about me.
Yeah. You are welcome.
You're so welcome.
Anytime.
And I would love to meet you, except, unless something hideous is about to happen.
Yeah, that's the time that you don't want to.
I don't want that
to meet him. No, and thank you to Jim and Hannah for subscribing to our.
Thank you
to our little podcast. Thank you so much.
I've been so desperate to get people to subscribe. Like the coffees are always like unexpected, and they always absolutely make my day. And I thought that was going to be the way it was going to go. Every now and again, we were going to get someone that bought us a coffee, and it was lovely. And then all of a sudden, we've started getting a few subscribers through, and it's so nice. And people are being so generous as well. Yeah. I thought if people were going to subscribe, that they might do like just a few quid or something, which would be amazing. But they're like part owners in our podcast now, I feel.
Yeah.
We're all in this together. Jim, Hannah.
Buddies. They're part of our little perplexed crew now.
Yeah, I feel like we've got a little family going on, and it's so lovely.
Yeah. And with those subscriptions and the Buy Us a Coffees as well, we are looking into doing some small items of merch, just so that we can send out to you guys as
thank you.
So that they are in the pipeline. So once we've got things sorted, we will be in contact with our subscribers and get some little bits sent out.
Yeah. Yeah, because we don't want to rush it and like send out a load of shit, do we?
No.
But some of the stuff that you've been creating over the last week is so good. And I mean, I want it.
Yeah.
So I would like to.
Well, you are one of our subscribers, so
I am.
That's
true.
It to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
That's true. Yeah, so
yeah.
I'll get the goodies as well. Woohoo!
Exciting things in the pipeline, guys.
Yes, very. Morning.
Morning.
Sorry, my morning's not as morning as it normally is, but I'm so tired.
Yeah, it's still early morning for you, isn't it?
Sleeping well in this heat, and I'm tired.
Oh, everybody says that. They're like, "Oh gosh, it's so hot. I didn't sleep last night." But I sleep wrapped up in a duvet, no matter the weather, and the heat doesn't bother me at all. As long as I've got a foot sticking out, not bothered about the heat.
Even with the hot flashes.
You know what? In this heat, people have said to me they get worse in the heat. I couldn't tell you the last time I had one.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Well, last episode
been...
you had one.
Yeah,
but before I mean, the hot weather came in.
In the heat, I've been fine. Yeah. Well, today's episode, is a little bit different. I say that about most of the episodes, but we do cover quite a variety of stories. But this one I came across, and I think you'll see why I've included this episode into our repertoire.
Ooh.
And thank you.
Fancy.
Yeah, thanks. I don't even know where that come from. But it's called The Unluckiest Luckiest Man.
Oh.
And I would say the luckiest man alive, but
you can't even say that.
It's gonna be a long episode.
Yeah, lots of editing to do.
So I don't know what your views are on luck, or what you believe in that sort of thing. But I myself consider me quite an unlucky person, and not unlucky as in, unlucky in life. My life's not rubbish. I've got great things. I don't, like when you go to bingo, never win at bingo. Don't win at scratch cards. I'm just not lucky if in the sense of having good luck.
There's also the other side of it where it's like, if you're convinced that you're going to go to bingo and you won't win, you won't win.
Yeah, there is also that. I do believe in the power of positivity and positive thinking, and I am a very positive person, but I am also quite an unlucky person. So
yeah, I don't know, maybe try and change your mindset and think, I am going to win this. I mean,
every time I get a scratch
I'm the opposite
card.
I think I'm a really lucky person.
Yeah. Every time I get a scratch card, I'm 100% certain this is it. This is the one. I'm doing it this time. Never happens. This story is about Frane Selak, who was a music teacher from Croatia. And his life was so incredible that it gained him the nickname of the luckiest, unluckiest man to have ever lived.
I'm intrigued to find out how you can be both.
Okay. You will find out, because he's either the unluckiest luckiest man or the luckiest unluckiest man.
Oh, that's a lot of lucky.
So it all started in 1957 when Frane was just 26 years old, when he boarded a bus in Croatia. And I don't know if you've been to Croatia, but it's quite a mountainous.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. It's quite, there's a lot of mountains and things. But the bus that he boarded swerved off the road and into a river. And Frane and his driver managed to escape. They escaped the bus and they swam to shore. However, there were 4 other passengers in the bus that didn't escape, and they all drowned and died. So that is where Frane's luck or bad luck started. And he actually said that this driver in particular, Ahmet, I don't know whether they were buddies or this is a bus that he took frequently, so he kind of knew the guy. But he said that Ahmet never got behind the wheel without a half a bottle of Reiki in his system. And
half a bottle of Reiki? Isn't that a massage?
Yeah, it's not. What's it called? It's not called Reiki. Raki. I think it's just Raki. It's a drink that you generally have in like Greece and
I
stuff.
don't know. I've had Ouzo.
Yeah,
but I've never heard of Raki.
Yeah, it's not Reiki because that is a holistic.
He had a bottle of massage.
Yep. I think it's just Raki.
Raki.
It's Rakija, but I think it's pronounced Raki. So he always drank a half a bottle of that, and it's very strong, really, really potent. It's like petrol. It tastes like it's really strong.
Oh, delicious!
But he said he was an excellent driver, nonetheless. Not that day.
Doesn't sound like it.
But they both survived the accident with a few minor cuts and bruises. But in January 1962, when Frane was now 31 years old, he boarded a train from Sarajevo.
Sarajevo.
Look at you knowing things.
The went capital. There.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she flew into Sarajevo airport.
All the way to Dubrovnik in Croatia, which is quite a distance. So Google mapped it.
Okay.
And I couldn't Google map how long the train journey would be, but the car journey was about 4.5 hours. There's a bit of a distance. It's still going to take a long time on the train.
Yeah.
But he'd taken the train journey before, so he knew what he was doing. Midway through the journey, the train sped through like a cold, rainy canyon. It was like a canyony type thing. And Frane was sat in his little train booth with another train companion. Didn't know the person, but just someone else that was sharing his little booth. And he's drinking his tea when the train gave a sudden lurch, which made him spill his tea everywhere.
Oh,
and then
dear.
the train, nobody likes to spill their tea, do they?
Good Lord.
But then the train it just made this like horrific grinding noise, and the whole carriage shook from the vibration of it. And before he had time to even register what was happening, the train derailed and it flew off the tracks and it plunged into an icy cold river.
Oh my God.
In the middle of January. It was absolutely freezing cold. So dazed, confused, and in a lot of pain, Frane found himself trapped in the wreckage of the train with the water rising fast. And despite the cold water shock, which would render most people unable to do a lot of things, and a broken arm, he managed to break the glass of the train window and pull himself and the other passenger out of the train and into the freezing water. And Frane and the other passenger were then pulled to shore by nearby residents that had seen the crash. So they were rescued from the accident. The other passengers, however, weren't quite so lucky. 17 other passengers drowned in the crash, which turned out to be because a large boulder had fallen on the tracks.
Oh, just to make sure.
So they were either going to crash into the boulder or the train derailed into the water. A year later, in 1963, Frane received a devastating call that his mother had taken ill, and he was obviously desperate to go and see her. But to go and see her would involve a short flight from Zagreb to I'm so bad with these names, so I apologize. But it was a short flight. It was like not a huge aeroplane. It was like a chartered flight.
Little one.
Yeah, little one. And Frane had never flown before, but he put his fear of flying aside and was desperate to go and see his mum. So he booked on to the next available flight. However, he was told that it was full. So he wanted to get on the next flight available, but there was no more seats left. So he explained to the airline that it was a family emergency, and he said that they were extremely sympathetic. towards him, and they said they actually allowed him onto the plane, and he was told that he could sit at the rear of the plane with the flight attendant. So, they have their own separate little seats. So he was allowed one of the flight attendant spaces,
goodness.
which is great. Great job, airline.
Yeah.
But as you may have guessed already, his experience of flying his first ever experience of flying wasn't going to be as smooth as what it should have been.
Should have been, yeah.
Should have been.
Blimey.
Not far from its destination airport, as the plane was getting ready to descend for landing, it suffered a technical fault and began to lose altitude very quickly.
Oh no.
800 meters from the ground, because of how quickly it was losing altitude, the pressure inside the cabin was so much that it actually blew off one of the rear doors next to where Frane and the flight attendant were sitting. Both passengers were sucked out of the plane.
Oh God.
And hurled through the air. But miraculously, luckily, they landed in a
marshmallow factory.
A marshmallow factory. Landed on an airbed. They landed on in a farmer's field on some hay bales, which cushioned their fall. So although they were obviously injured, they did not die. But Frane and the flight attendant watched in horror as the plane that they had just been on moments ago slammed into the ground, killing the 17 passengers and 3 crew members on board. It's not going great for Frane so far.
It's not, is it? That's a sign after sign after sign to stay at home.
Yep.
I would take that as a sign and be like, nope, never going out again. Think,
God, what's the universe trying to tell me?
Yeah, exactly. Because you'd be,
trying to do me in.
It is luckiest, unluckiest.
Yep.
Man, isn't it? So
in 1970, swearing off public transport, never going on public transport again, Frane was driving his car on a
Frane. Stay at home, man.
Frane was driving his car on a long journey on a stretch of motorway or highway when it suddenly caught fire.
Of course it did.
With the engine ablaze, he managed to pull over to safety, vacate his car on the side of the road, and clambered out of the car. He ran to safety moments before it exploded. So he it was like an action movie, like dived out of the car and just watched it burst into flames.
I bet he shouted no in slow motion as he went.
Yeah.
I wonder if Mothman was there. Do you reckon Mothman was there? All of these things, and he was going over here. Oh, he's an idiot. He's not even looking.
All these times I've tried to warn him.
Yeah, just went back to his munitions factory. Just thought, oh, stuff it.
Oh, Frane.
Yeah.
In 1973, another car journey didn't quite go to plan. When driving his car again along a busy road, the fuel pump on his car malfunctioned, causing hot oil to be sprayed onto the hot engine, where it immediately ignited.
Yeah.
And flames shot through the car air vent directly at him.
Tried to blow his face off. Jesus, it's like something out of Final Destination.
I know.
Where every time you turn round, something's like
something else trying to get you.
Yeah.
And they're not minor things either. They're quite. If that one thing had happened to me, I'd be like, carry that around for the rest of your life.
Yeah, staying in, never going out again. I mean, you don't expect to be driving along, having a lovely time, listening to your audiobook or your podcast, and then have a flamethrower in your face.
That's exactly what it was. Flamethrower to the face through the air vents.
Yeah, I don't need that. I felt like that's what was happening yesterday.
The heat does feel. Stuff just covered my. There was a small spider on top of the laptop, and I just went like that to get it and covered my entire face. I do apologize. Maybe it's a money spider.
There you go. Trying to tell me win something.
Come here, spider.
Try again, Sarah.
So yeah, apart from the fact that he had singed all of his hair off, he managed to flee the car and escaped relatively unscathed. And after 22 years accident-free, in 1995, a now 69-year-old Frane, vehicle-free, by the way, not in any vehicle,
as he should be,
had decided to go for a walk.
Son of a bitch.
When he was hit by a bus.
Oh, Frane.
I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing because of all these terrible things. It's just so
inappropriate. Yes,
so inappropriate.
So inappropriate.
It's just like, oh, Frane, come on, man.
Just stay at home. Why does he not listen to me?
You would
stay at home, Frane.
You'd wrap yourself up in a little bubble.
I'd get one of those Zorb balls. Oh no, actually, because then I'd probably get trapped in it and it'd melt all over me and like
suffocate.
Yeah, suffocate me like shrink wrap.
Brain doesn't seem safe in any situation.
No,
so
I'm telling you, if Final Destination, it's coming after Frane.
Yeah. So Frane, walking along the road, was hit by a bus, and despite being hit by a bus and his age at 69, Frane received only minor bruising and cuts. So he again.
Oh, good. I'm glad he lived.
Yeah, relatively unscathed from that accident. A year later, 1996, Frane
was out rollerblading,
kayaking, canoeing. Frane decided that he would take a little drive through the Croatian mountains when a UN truck, big old truck, swerved into his lane, almost crashing headfirst into him. But he managed to avoid the collision by swerving at the very last moment, and he swerved off the road and he crashed into the guardrail, which was there to stop you going over the cliff. But the guardrail gave way.
Oh.
And his car fell into the ravine below, about 100 meters below. However, Frane, who wasn't wearing a seatbelt at the time, he had sworn never to use a seatbelt again since the plane crash where he wasn't seatbelted in. If he had been seatbelted in, he wouldn't have been sucked out of the plane and he would have crashed. So had he been wearing his seatbelt, would have for sure died.
I don't recommend that form of
logic.
Action. Yeah.
Always wear your seatbelts.
Put your seatbelts on. I mean, my car screams at me not if I don't. So.
Oh my God, my car beeps at the back if I've got just the car seat on it and no child.
Yeah,
my car thinks that someone's sitting on it without a thing plugged in. It like beeps, but it will start beeping 10 minutes into the journey. And I'm like, oh for God's sake.
Got to pull over.
Got to pull over and plug it in.
My car hands me my seatbelt.
Really?
Yeah, when I get in.
Did you forgotten something?
It comes around the side of my chair and I'm like, oh, thank you.
That's just someone in the back going, excuse me, miss.
Excuse me, you need to put this on. I'm like, stop telling me. I'm not ready yet. Me and Lewis always have to say thank you, though.
Thank you.
Every time it does it, we go, thank you.
So Frane, who was not wearing his seatbelt at the time, managed to get out as it was before it plummeted down. He managed to get out of the car window and jump like onto a tree. Trees everywhere and stuff. He managed to cling onto a branch, pull himself out of the car, and saved himself by hanging onto this tree as he watched his car.
And he's like in his 70s now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Such a lad.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the reason I wanted to do one of these stories. There was loads of stories that I was going to pick about survival stories because it is so amazing to me how much the human body can withstand when you do, when you're in a situation where you need to survive, how your body can do that, because
steps
sometimes
up, doesn't it?
it absolutely steps up, and sometimes it's not even about logical thinking. It's about a natural instinct in you that kicks in and takes over,
that kind of
and
survival
mode kind of kicks in. And there's so many survival stories that I wanted to do. And guys, if you want to hear some survival stories, please let us know, because although it's kind of off topic a little bit for us, there are some really great stories that I would like to cover if you'd like to hear them, of just some incredible surviving.
Isn't it?
It's perplexing to me how
tales,
how somebody can survive something that some of these stories are about. It really is incredible. And Frane, for instance, who has survived 7 near-death experiences.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Which is crazy. So the car accident where he jumped out and clung onto the tree was his last near fatal experience of his lifetime. So
is he alive now? Or are you getting to that?
I'll get to that. But after 7 near-death experiences, Frane was thought of as bad luck to be around. So throughout his life, his friends would kind of disappeared a little bit. They wouldn't get in a car with him.
No.
They wouldn't get on any public transport with him.
No, because most of the time, it's the other people that
it's the other people,
and he walks away. So you'd be like, well, you might be all right, mate.
Yeah, it's me I'm worried about.
Yeah, I'm going to be a red smear on the landscape while you're driving home for your tea.
Yeah, clinging onto trees.
Yeah.
One of his friends said if Frane had booked public transport, they would cancel, because they did not want to get on anything that he was going on.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. You can understand that if someone's got a track record of bad experiences in the car or on public transport, you're not traveling with that person, especially on a flight.
No,
you've got bad
100%
bad luck on a flight, not doing it. He also, although he sort of, I said he'd lost his friends and his friendships kind of deteriorated and things. He was also married 6 times.
Oh,
throughout his life.
6 times.
6 times.
Frane.
But it doesn't say particularly what happened. Like Henry VIII, dead, beheaded, survived. Yeah. I don't know what happened to his wives. I don't know whether they left.
One was in a plane crash. One was in a train crash. One's at the bottom of that icy river.
That could well be it. I don't know whether he's widowed or. But yeah, he was married 6 times. So whether that was just because his wives were like, oh, again, Frane, enough with the near-death experience. I can't take it anymore. Yeah, I'm leaving.
Maybe one of them was like, maybe each of them tried to like finish him off. So someone was at the top of the cliff, like in a Wile E. Coyote cartoon, one of them was at the top of a cliff with a great big stick wrenching that boulder off as the train was coming round the bottom, and she was like, no. Someone else was cutting his brakes in his car and
drive the UN truck or the bus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, solved it.
However, if that was the case, they should not have divorced him quite when they did, because he still decided to try his luck with the lottery. Although he had all of this bad luck, whatever you want to call it, he decided to try his luck with the lottery. And a few days after he turned 73, Frane won the 6.5 million kuna jackpot on the lottery, which equates to about £750,000.
Nice.
Great job, Frane.
Do you know it's the lottery tonight?
I don't do it.
Do it.
Okay. All right. I've got the app.
We're doing a story about luckiest and unluckiest, talking about.
And I've just had the money, Spider. I'll do the lottery in a minute.
Do the lottery.
Lottery.
Yeah, sorry. I'll let you finish and then I'll say my bit.
Okay. So with his money, Frane bought house, a holiday home, many other expensive treats for himself. And after living a lavish lifestyle for a few years, obviously he's getting on a bit. He's like, it's 75-ish, and you're not going to be out jet skiing and stuff, are you?
Well, I don't know. You never know with Frane. He's jumping out of moving cars, grabbing onto trees.
Yeah. Can you imagine the accident that would have happened had he been on some sort of boat or
Yeah.
jet ski? No.
Frane.
So after living his lavish lifestyle for a few years, he decided to gift most of his money away to friends and family, and decided to just live a frugal lifestyle. So, and especially after his lottery win, I don't know why that's so difficult to say, lottery win, Frane always regarded himself as quite a lucky person, in the sense that these bad things had happened to him, but he was very lucky to have survived them. And he passed away peacefully in 2016 at the age of 86.
Oh, Frane.
Honestly,
I'm glad
he
just like passed away nicely and didn't get, messed up in a train crash or something.
Yeah, nope.
No one wants to go like that.
Passed away peacefully at the age of 86.
I think I've got Frane's mindset though, because I think, like, you can think about the fact that I will always say I'm the luckiest person I know. I have got really, really good luck. And I've had it said to me, not really. I wouldn't say that you're a really lucky person. As a child, I had, I had a couple of surgeries for, like, my appendix ruptured. So I had to have my appendix removed, but I got to have time off school. And this is, like, from my point of view, it wasn't like, oh, that's annoying. I just thought, okay, well, I've got time off school. I get to sit in a private hospital room and eat ice cream and jelly and whatever I want. If I want a can of Coke, they'll just bring me a can of Coke. This is great. So that was really good. I had meningitis when I was in my 20s. When I turned 30, I was diagnosed with my first brain tumor. So I had to have surgery. When I was 40, I lost my mum. So I only realised this recently. So now I'm kind of dreading turning 50.
Oh, gosh.
I know. I don't know why, but that thought popped into my head. And I thought, oh, my God, what's going to happen when I'm 50? And I mentioned
positive things.
Like, don't say that. But yeah, my point was, you can say these things. I had meningitis and was hospitalised. I had a brain tumour and was hospitalised. I lost my mum. But I survived meningitis without any side effects or lasting issues or anything like that. I had a brain tumour, but I survived the brain tumour, and I've had a few, but very minor lasting effects from it. And yes, I lost my mum, which has absolutely devastated me, but I had the best mum. Do you know what I mean? I had quality over quantity of years. I just couldn't have wished for a better mum. So from my point of view, I think, no, I'm well lucky. And you're, yes, you've had awful cancer, and you've had all this recovery and treatment and chemo and radiotherapy and all that, but you will have learned so much from this, and it will be a life experience similar, not the same, but similar to, like, me having my brain tumor. How many people can say that they have experienced what it's like to have cancer and have a brain tumor and live through it and survive it? And I now know what that experience is like, to have a brain tumor and to have brain surgery and to go through these things.
Is that a good thing though?
I think so, because it's taught me a lot about how I live my life, in as much as I don't tend to sweat the small stuff. And if I feel a certain way about someone, I'm going to tell them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to say to them, you know, I really, really love you. I really want to spend like all my time with you. I want, you know, I tell the kids that I love them. I tell Claire that I love them all the time. I just feel like why wait? There's no time to wait. Don't keep putting things off. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just
I
do it,
wouldn't,
because you know it can so easily go for what you think is a fairly routine trip to the hospital because you suffer with migraines, which is what
mhm.
I was told, to all of a sudden life changing. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think that I think I'm generally quite unlucky in just that I don't have the normal things that people think are lucky, but
Mm.
I also feel lucky. So I do feel unlucky, but lucky. Like I'm
Yeah,
super unlucky to have got cancer at the age of 31. That's
yeah,
really unlucky. But I'm
yeah,
also very incredibly lucky that I found it when I did. And that
yes,
it's incredibly curable or treatable,
yeah,
and that I'm lucky that I've been absolutely fine, and the treatment's not been horrendous and things, but
mm,
I do feel unlucky that that happened to me.
yeah.
Um,
But you have
but
to have life experiences, don't you? Because that's what it's about. It's just, you know, you don't know that these things are going to be a life experience
yeah,
until you've come out the other side of it and you think, oh, that was an experience.
yeah,
That was unlucky. But you have to have life experiences, you know, like you've got to be in it to win it. You know,
and
you've got to be in the lottery if you want to win it.
and I will be tonight. Don't
Exactly.
bother putting it on everybody because I'm having it.
Yeah.
It's
But
my turn.
the weeks that you don't do it, you feel like I'm not a lucky person because I've wasted a quid.
Yeah, I do feel like everything happens for a reason. So although whether
Mm,
it's unlucky or lucky that it's happened, I feel like it's happened for a reason, and then I try and look for the meaning
mm,
behind why has this happened? What's the universe trying to teach me? What do I need to learn
yeah.
out of this? But yeah, in Frane's circumstance, I feel like the unluckiest luckiest person is absolutely adequate for him because he's so
There's no
unlucky.
better, yeah, there's no better title for that because it's like,
No,
oh my God, that's so
he's
unlucky.
so
Like
unlucky, but
these
so
things keep
lucky.
happening. But
Yeah,
yeah, so lucky that you keep walking away from these things. It's
yeah.
amazing.
It is incredible. So it's just a story that I happened upon, and I thought,
No, that's cool. It's
what a great story.
it really blows my mind to think about things like Frane's story because I do think, like, what's the chances? Like that's what perplexes me. Because I
Yeah.
think, what's the chances that you're going to get in a car and the car's going to crash? You're going to get on a train and it's going to derail. You're going to get in a plane and it's going to crash. And,
Well, the
you know,
chances are very slim of getting in a
yeah,
plane and it crashing, isn't it? But what
yeah.
while I was researching this story, there was a story about a guy that had been hit by lightning 7 times.
Oh,
That
yeah. See, why does that happen?
maybe once you're hit once, you then conduct it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like becomes a lightning magnet.
Yeah, but that again is that's incredibly
Yeah,
unlucky to have been hit 7 times by lightning, but
yeah,
also you've survived it.
yeah. But
So
also, if you'd go, that's incredibly unlucky that, you know, someone would be hit by lightning 7 times. But also, is that happening because 7 times to be hit by lightning, it would kind of then put you in the limelight a little bit, wouldn't it? Rather than lightning light.
yeah,
But it would throw you into, you know, people would want to do, like, maybe you'd be starting to do like interviews, maybe you'd write a book about it,
hmm,
or they'd do I don't know, film about it or something. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean? So maybe that's, like, sometimes people have to go through these things and you think, oh, that's really unlucky, but you think, yeah, but if that didn't have happened,
yeah.
then they wouldn't
None
have
of
got
that would have
that book
happened.
deal that
Yeah,
they've made billions out of, or whatever it might
yeah,
be. So yeah, there's so many different ways to look at it and think about it. Like, does my own head in.
yeah. Oh, if you consider yourself lucky or unlucky, let us know. I'd love to hear people's stories of
I'm lucky.
What they've been lucky in. Yeah, what they've been unlucky in.
I consider
us
myself
know.
lucky. Sarah considers herself fun. Oh, I won the postcode lottery as well, didn't I?
Oh, did you? There you go then.
23,000.
You did not win 23,000.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
For God's sake.
See,
Jesus
lucky.
Christ. So lucky.
And I'd forgotten that I did it as well.
Lucky sausage.
Yeah, that got spent in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
If you have enjoyed listening to our episodes, make sure you rate us and leave us a review on whatever platform you are listening.
We absolutely love hearing from you guys. So you can also help support our show by donating to our Buy Me a Coffee link. We will make sure that you get a massive shout out and a big thank you in our next week's episode.
You can also follow us on social media at Perplexed Podcasts. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and if you want to see more videos and blooper reels, subscribe to our TikTok and YouTube channels.
You can also email us your stories at perplexedpodcasts@gmail.com.
And you can find all the relevant links in the episode descriptions. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye. When it's really unlucky that my plant fell off. I'm pissed off about that. Fucking wind, fucking summer.